Hey, Shalom, Yahba Shemel Shabrakatah. Brother Kwan from the Great Millstone Dallas camp coming at you with a quick live show with these other officers and elders. With officers and elders here in for Tuesday. So I'm finna go in here and get down with these brothers here on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening.
Said two horns like a lamb.
Go ahead. God, this is the Greek word for horn for Revelation 13:11, Strong's G 2768, haras. I'm gonna get straight to the point. It says, section I, a mighty and valiant helper, the author of deliverance.
See, he makes himself into a savior. Even via his med field, he's a savior.
Yeah.
Technology, AI, is being set up as a savior. Okay? These two opposing systems have been people's saviors.
Paying attention.
And they're maniacs over it. It has the whole country divided into these politics. Meanwhile, they are losing. The working class is losing.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, they step right over you and instead of saying, okay, let's say if they did with the same thing they're doing with the alphabet community and the women and the trans, if they put that energy towards the working class.
Yeah.
The people who really are responsible for this shit flowing, man. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yep. Prosper. Yep.
But he's the devil, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wins, but but people, you know,
The people that got this whole motherfucking society running.
Right.
that's a nigga. You know, this niggas treat the people who love them the most, the worst.
Yeah.
That's a nigga. Esau's a nigga, man. Go ahead.
God, it says, I'm gonna read that section again. It says, a mighty and valiant helper, the author of deliverance, and it says, of the Messiah.
There you go. He's trying to make himself into the Messiah. When you look up what he's trying to do, the chip itself is a savior. Okay? He's ultimately trying to X out the Son of the Most High. In the plan for the Most High to have him rule on earth. He's trying to X that out and basically set himself in position to be the Savior. You see that? And in the grand scheme of things, everything's dying. Everything's confused. Look at this man's kingdom. Look around the world.
Yep.
This is a mess. Yet he's going to save you. He's going to save you from the shit, the results of his rulership.
That he created. He created the shit once you look for him for help. You know?
And people still fall for it, man. The water Yahweh Shah for giving us the Holy Spirit.
Call on him.
Because imagine looking at this shit and depending on one of these, you know,
He'd be throughout.
Matt Biden ain't in there or Kamala, you know, imagine that spirit was on you.
Still talking about the 92%. 12, like, man, shut up, bro.
Shut the F up. So he had two, read it again.
This is Revelation 13:11.
That's that scripture framed mischief by law.
Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Right, and when you read this, this is the final leg of the Roman Empire in the latter days. Okay? The Renaissance period brought about the rebirth of Rome. And from there, okay, eventually came America. Starting out of Italy, right? French, Spain, Germany was up in there, right? The British and the America. America pretty much is the ending point of this man's system. The ending point of the revival of Rome, all right? That other little horn. And this is expounding on the vision in Daniel, the 7th chapter. See that? And as you read this, the chip comes from this system. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him.
Right, he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. And if anybody got ChatGPT, you can just look up expulsions in the Roman Empire, how they would there were points where they would deport you on your basically on your ideology. your philosophy. You can get deported out of Rome by your philosophy. It wasn't just the Jews, which really it was the followers of Yahweh Shai that got kicked out of Rome. Okay? But it was different times where there were other groups that literally were kicked out of Rome. So he's exercising the very same power. You got to look at what Trump is doing. This nigga is reaching back to French methods, laws that come out of the what's that law he passed? I forget
The big beautiful bill.
Nah, that, but it's the Insurrection Act.
Oh yeah.
That goes back to what? The French, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, look up the Insurrection Act. And basically that was used to silence people too. But he's reaching back to ancient methods to handle modern events.
Yep.
So he's exercising that same power. France is a part of this beast system. Okay? Is it from French?
It's coming up.
So he's exercising all the power of the ancient Western Roman Empire right before your very eyes. But now technology is involved. Now, instead of that region that Rome conquered, they have the whole world in their hand. They're living in their blessing. All right?
Yeah, they're doing the French Revolution.
Yep.
Insurrection Act. Yeah. 1792.
Yep, 1792. He's reaching back to the 1700s to handle something in 2025.
Man.
So they're going back to more ancient methods, and it's only gonna get worse, man. Public beheadings, all of that is coming. Okay, what was that movie? I forget. They had the mask on. They were openly executing people. All right, who came up? They would execute.
White mask on.
Yeah, they would execute them like in front of like everybody. It would show up on the screen like they would execute.
Yeah.
Right. Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah.
That's coming back.
Yep.
Okay? Remember, Rome was known for openly punishing its criminals.
That's
Right?
right.
In Colosseums, like you would pay to go see the criminals and the evildoers of that against their empire. You would see them ate by fucking hungry lions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That was a normal part of the Roman way. So he's going back. He's reaching back to those ways. He's ultimately getting ready to justify by law beating your ass
On camera.
on camera.
Yep.
Yeah, he would put it out like that. Would do sometimes before the gladiator game. They would do that to try to show how the people looking at it. So if you in that stadium, that's for everybody to see.
Yeah.
And now we don't have to be in the stadium. You can put it on TV.
Yeah.
Public place.
Damn.
Yeah, those gladiator games were way different back then. Those gladiator games was on to the death.
Yeah.
It wasn't football,
Right.
soccer, none of
You
that
get
shit.
interviewed
Golf
after,
and
no,
shit.
your ass is dead.
Your interview in the spirit world. Your interview in the spirit world, you going back down here again, player.
Dragging your ass off. Your wife crying.
Blood stain Lombard 183.
But they did that to the followers of Yahweh Shai. They would put them out last. They would take out. They would have the criminal petty crime. These people who were punished. But then he brought out the apostles. Why he said he have sent out the apostles last, as it were, unto death, man. Where we made a spectacle because everybody looking, and now everybody's fixating as the world burns and is collapsing and going crazy. Everybody talking about the Israelites.
Yeah.
Vocab is flying around the world worried about the Israelites.
Oh, he gotta be an agent, bro.
It's a spirit on him.
Yeah. He's hanging.
If you gonna fly to scoff and ask the same goddamn questions you asked 8 years ago, it ain't something. There's a spirit on you.
Yeah.
There's a spirit on him to do that. He ain't gonna stop. He's not gonna stop. Like we'll be like, why? He's not gonna stop until the Lord stops him.
Yep.
But you best believe in times like this, for him to get another notch within their shit, he's gonna have the breakdown. They're gonna use him on certain news channels to give you the breakdown of Hebrew Israelism.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's gonna be used.
Yep.
Cause he they sent him, but he's not a really high level guy. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, they're gonna use him on down the line.
Yep.
Okay, be looking forward to vocab on CNN News to tell you about the Israelites. And the crazy thing about it, he's never got his ass beat. You visited all these Israelites, even the camps we don't agree with. Nobody attacked him.
No harm, no threat, no nothing.
But we're the problem. We're the threat. If we were really that bad, he would have,
Yeah, we would have been off the streets years ago.
You'd be crippled by now.
right? He would have been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's justified. Pestering people. You're basically a professional housefly.
Yeah. Right.
A gnat at best. Vocab Malone's a gnat at best. And no matter how much you slap his ass, he gonna come back in your ear.
You gonna wake up and shit.
Yeah.
Wake up shit.
Remember flies back in the 80s and 90s? It would spray them.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later, you just you like, what the fuck? You look behind the curtain, this nigga then woke up. He ain't hungry, nigga. You just get up and fly again. That's Vocab Malone.
He's a professional stalker.
Yeah, he's a stalker. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Brother going to the bathroom, he rolled down the
Yeah, I
window.
was gonna bring it up.
It was nice meeting you, Jacob. It's like the windows tinted. He's like a real Dr. Claw demon, man. I'll get you next time, gang. He's like a demon. And that's Christianity, though. That's normal. Just follow people around.
That's their MO. Yeah.
You big kid, man.
Oh man.
And y'all really think the Lord dealing with y'all? The Lord ain't dealing with y'all. Y'all gonna take the chip. Christians are gonna take the chip.
Mm-hmm.
Christians are gonna battle. When Esau get to really put his foot down, the Christian ain't rooted enough to stand on these scriptures.
Boy.
Yep.
This is Psalms 94 and verse 20, and it reads, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?"
So you see the elite are framing mischief by a law, and a lot of these people are agent provocateurs. A lot of these protests were peaceful, but you get there, and just like when BLM was rioting, there's bricks, right? So you have certain people with a, kind of like a real, mind to just protest.
Yeah.
But there's an agent there.
Yeah.
And he's throwing stuff, and paid agents. And man, this man got all kind of money.
Yeah.
So he can go out there and pay hundreds of people to just fuck it up for everybody else.
Yeah. Because they said, rumor has it, I believe here in Dallas, they said, I guess they didn't get the permission they were supposed to have, because it's been stated that permission is required to have those protests. You gotta check in with the city.
Yeah, right.
So supposedly this go around with the immigration thing, with the ICE, the anti-ICE protests, it wasn't regulated. So they going that route now. So
Right.
Which is a known fact. In order for you to have a protest, you have to check in with the city of Dallas.
Yep.
But
In order for IUIC to march and these different camps to march, and the streets get shut down, they have to get permission. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
All right. That has to be on the books.
Yeah.
All right. You have to be permitted to do that. That from this time to this time, traffic is gonna be slow in this area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't just do that shit.
Yeah. You get police escorts to kind of cut off the certain streets and everything.
Yeah.
But they let you know Esau controls that.
Right.
We're gonna let you know when you can do when you actually can march.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they feel safe about going out there doing it.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they got protection.
Right. And
Shit is
you
nuts.
got to think, along with this, there's this influx in camps marching. There's this influx in camps getting carnal, on camera and just, showing that we warriors and we can fight.
Yeah.
It's just all of a sudden, at a very critical time, this is what certain camps are doing to go in line with the very narrative that they're pushing. That domestic terror is the problem with our system, whether it be an immigrant, whether it be somebody with a radical ideology, all of them, the right wing, this, that, the left. We got to get rid of all of them. We need to bring order. So he's going to be able to pass a law, and all of us are going to be labeled in that same thing. Y'all marching, y'all doing it, y'all boom.
Yeah.
They go blame it on the Israelites.
Yeah.
They go blame the radicalized mind of these people going out and doing these things on street preachers and people who are using online hate speech.
Yeah.
So he's framing mischief by law. He's framing mischief by causing the problem. You get the necessary action. Trump keeps talking about the people want safety. People want to feel safe in their neighborhoods, especially in the black neighborhoods. And he keeps talking about we're going to put more police. We're going to bring, who did he bring?
The Marines.
The
right?
Marines.
Yeah.
See that?
Don't forget about down there in Memphis. He putting troops, the federal troops down in Memphis too. See, Jake forgot about
Yeah.
that. All that killing down in Memphis. Yeah, he got some federal troops down there too.
Yep.
That nigga throw a rock over here, got everybody distracted over here. Meanwhile, he over here orchestrating shit, bro.
He's setting up
He's setting shit up.
because again, Americans have too many freedoms. They have to justify getting around that Constitution, and they're openly doing it. When you hear Trump say that a U.S. citizen won't have due process, what's that letting you know?
Man, throwing away the Constitution.
Openly, these are talking points that people are becoming, it's normalized to say that, and people ain't even losing it.
Yeah.
People ain't losing it because they're justifying it because we do got to get these wild, crazy motherfuckers out of our kingdom.
Right.
It's a perfect plan, man. Esau is the devil, man.
Yep.
You would think he had all his money. Why don't you just set up the order? Well, he got just set up the order. Tell people this is what it is. But he has to do this. He has to do that. He has to lure people into traps to where he can demonize them.
Yep.
That's the accuser of the brethren. Somebody get that?
Can I get that?
Yep, hit it.
Con, this is Psalms 94 and verse 20 in the NLT, and it reads, "Can unjust leaders claim that the Most High is on their side?" Which he's not when you pursuing the Psalms, the 50th chapter, man. You know, he says that they thought that he was on there altogether one with them, you know, but he's, like he said, he's reproving him by the mouth of the prophets, and he set them in order, you know, right before their which is talking about his people, man. So he's getting us, you know, ready, you know, while he's rebuking them. Right. So he's not on their side. It says, again, can unjust leaders claim that the Most High is on their side? Leaders whose decrees permit injustice, you know, which is those unrighteous decrees spoken of in Isaiah the 10th chapter, man. You know what I'm saying? They prescribe, they sit down and put all this crap together before, you know, and then they bring these, which like the scriptures say, they sit upon their beds and come up with all these different ways to jack Jake up. You know, then you know, he'll sit down, write an executive order, you know, going hard on him, by the way, and then boom, they put this stuff out on Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, the Lord is not with them. He's not on their side. He's not with leaders who decree.
Yep, I got it. Yep.
Whose decrees permit injustices.
Yep. Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
So forth. Yep. And woe means destruction, man. So the Lord is after these dudes, man. He's not with them, you know. Because these decrees they're not for your sake, man. They're not good for you, man. You know, they're setting you up, man. And those about to come down on you.
To surveil on you, to take away your civil liberties, to take away your rights, to justify a China-like environment here in America. Okay, he's doing it by deceit. These are unrighteous decrees. The Patriot Act. Okay, that was meant to, you know, look for terrorists, but then what did it end up being used for? To spy on American citizens, to justify taking away rights from American citizens. That's ultimately what came of it, and it's still here. In a right event, they're gonna have the ability, because they got everything covered, man. It could be a civil unrest, it could be a blackout, it could be a demic, it could be another demic-like scenario. He got you on every end.
Yeah. Someday he's causing. He gonna cause it.
He's causing it. That's what I'm noticing about a lot of end time prophecy. It's the age of deceit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So even some of the earthquakes is him, but it still fulfills prophecy of there's earthquakes and, you know, uproars of the people. A lot of the uprisings are orchestrated, but it still fulfills it.
Like the harp and all that.
Yeah. Yep. But people are ultimately getting ready to lose it because he has to keep going. He cannot stop. He has to get this thing going.
Right.
Because he has but a short time.
Right.
So he's getting ready to frame mischief by law through his policy. Get that? Through his Daniel 11, which this is speaking of Antiochus Epiphanes, but this beast system has the Greek. It's a little Greek sprinkled in there. All right, this is Greek customs here in America.
Yep.
The Nike check, the goddess of victory.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Asclepius, the Greco-Roman god of healing.
Yep.
That's the symbol on your
Your
man field.
shit. Yeah.
You see? Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
And that's what Antiochus Epiphanes did. He used this policy. He even sent people to the Jews, and they came as if they were meek and humble, but they were getting ready to wage war. They waged a martial law type scenario on anybody who did not adhere to Hellenization. Anyone who wanted to stick to what they wanted to do, you had to go. See what I'm saying? This is Hellenization, and when you go into Hellenization, they branded their subjects. If you, to prove you down with our gods and that you are fully submitted and that you are totally done away with your, that's why he calls people radical. It means your roots. Radical, the word radical means roots. So anyone who's sticking to their roots and don't want to go along with the way of Hellenization, to prove you did it, you would get a brand.
Yeah.
So what is that brand today?
Yes, sir. To see hippie.
The C-Hip.
Yep.
That's the modern day brand.
If I can add too real quick to Kwame, that word, when you go on that word craft, it literally means his treachery and his deceit. You know, which the elder mentioned that we're in that's the time we're in, you know, the deceit, you know. So yeah, that's treachery and deceit, man. You know, through his policies, that's what he's gonna his treachery and deceit he's gonna cause to prosper.
Yep.
You know?
He come with an 800-page report on page 799. He could tell you can get, but you gotta go through all the jargon to get to that. Deceitful, man.
Right.
Yeah, his laws are just stupid.
It's grievous. Grievous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like you said with the C-Hip, like that brand, just like they did in slavery. What, they give you an earring
And a brand.
and a brand.
They
Yeah.
brand your ass.
Yeah.
Antebellum, you look at that movie.
Yeah,
Whenever
that's
they caught a
right.
runaway slave, they branded them to show that this is my property. So if you ever run away again, all right, they'll know that you belong to me
Yeah.
by a brand on you.
Yep. Yeah. The frats and sorority. When you
Yep.
said the Greek is sprinkled in there.
Yep.
Hey, what the Q's got, right?
Damn, yeah.
Yep.
Call him wig. And shit.
And basically, you're showing your alliance to Greco-Roman gods,
Sure.
and you make an oath by the brand. Okay. Well, again, he's getting ready to. He's justifying that system, surveillance. Okay, and he frames mischief by law by demonizing anyone who's against it, and then passing laws and justifying openly beating their ass and carting them off, man.
Yeah.
To another country just because you have another ideology. You can wake up in a country you've never been to,
Boy.
Yeah, piece of work.
and the buildings are already waiting on your ass. The prisons are already waiting on your ass.
Then have you noticed all these warehouses they building around here, bro?
Yep.
It's like a warehouse pop up every 6 months, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, they just dividing shit up here.
Yeah.
This section of the population, go, man, it's too many warehouses, bro, where I live at, bro. All of a sudden, I'm just popping up. Big ass warehouses. Yeah, come on, man.
Because they put the niggas in there. Niggas getting thrown in there, and we may be in one.
Yeah.
He said he go throw us in prison. That's crazy, right?
Yep.
Coming.
But it's coming. Okay, they're getting ready we're getting ready to be a part of those people who are basically what they're doing in Palestine. What are they doing? Ethnic cleansing, all right? They're tapping, we told y'all they was gonna tap back into that scientific racism. These type of savages by law, or it's not racism, it's science. These type of people gotta go. And we can justify it by the test and by the statistics, by the behavior patterns.
It's crazy. Man.
And he's able to accuse you. This is why we need the blood of Yahweh Shah, because none of the accusations stand on those. The 2/3 are guilty.
Oh yeah.
But if you covered under the blood of Yahweh Shai, you're not guilty. So he can't accuse you. It's not going to work. He's been disarmed through that blood. Because Satan's tool against Jake is accusing you.
Damn.
Okay? Creating a system of sin and luring you into all type of traps and snares to where he can blame you and justify having advantage over your ass through the Lord not dealing with you.
Crafty. Let's go say it.
Go ahead, read it again.
Let me get an NLT.
Man, that's
If you want
pretty.
to.
This Daniel 8:25 NLT. He will be a master of deception and will become arrogant. He will destroy many without warning.
What Trump doing? He puffing himself up, going back to in 1801 to coming out with laws 2025 and doing it publicly.
And he's serious.
Oh, that motherfucker ain't playing.
He's serious. They serious. It's not a game.
He ain't playing.
Okay?
Yep.
It says he will even take on the prince of princes in battle, but he will be broken, though not by human power.
See that? And that's going to happen in this time.
Yeah.
All right? Because it's going to get so bad, pursuant to Daniel, the 12th chapter, that ultimately the angel's going to have to intervene. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're looking forward to. That's why we approach Jacob's trouble. What's that scripture in where they walked into the fire praising the Lord? What's that?
3 holy children.
3 holy children.
Like verse 26 or something.
Oh, you want the Isaiah 24 or 3 other children?
3
Say
holy
both
children.
of them. Get the
What's
other.
on? What did I tell you again? Isaiah 24.
Glorify the Lord in the midst of the fires. I thought you were talking about that.
Okay, well, you can get that.
Okay,
Get that. Then get that other one.
okay. This is
Whoever can find it.
okay. This is the book of Isaiah. I'll start right here, verse 14. Isaiah 24:14. They shall lift up their voice. They shall sing for the majesty of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the fires.
In the fires.
Yeah.
You know, we're in there's fires being fanners. There's fires being set all over, you know, this place, and a fire can be the people being roused up.
Yeah.
Okay, there's spirits on these people, man.
Yeah.
There's a spirit of confusion, death, disparity, perplexity. All right, this is a big ball of confusion right here, and people are jabbed up. The food is weaponized against them. All he has to do is put a frequency out there, and who knows what the hell is getting ready to happen out here. He's already doing it, but he's doing it, you know, slow, and you could tell as people are bugging out. But he's getting ready to turn it up. Okay, so we're going to be glorifying the Lord in the midst of fires. We're walking towards the fire, praising the Lord.
Right now.
And Jake doesn't have confidence that the Lord can deliver, because this is like a Goliath America. But the beast system is like Goliath. It looks impossible. But David trusted in his rock, man.
Okay.
Just quick, just okay, let's move. This is Sirach 4 and verse 9. It's like I say, he's gonna put us in the midst of the fire. So we gotta be, you know, we're gonna end up being like fine gold because, you know, the Lord is covering us. It says, Sirach 4 and verse 9, deliver me that suffers wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when thou sittest in judgment. So, you know, like I say, all these fires are being set. You know, we're going to be in the midst of all this that's happening. You know, like I say, but we're going to be delivered, you know, but we're supposed to have that trust in the Lord. We're supposed to believe it and have that faith in the time of judgment. You know, just like the 7 brothers, they continue with their faith. So we don't know what is going to be at the hands of, you know, what Esau is going to be presenting unto the men of the Lord. But we know that when we're in the Lord's hand, he can't pluck us out. All right, so we got to continue on through the faith and have that belief, knowing the Lord is going to guide our paths. You know, that's what it says in 2 Ezra, Second Ezra 7. You know, with the water on one side, the fire on the other side. You know, you can go through certain adversities during this time of these fires being lit, but we know what's at hand is the kingdom of heaven.
Yep, I got something for you. This is Sirach 51 and 2. For thou art my helper, my defender. Thou hast preserved my body from destruction, and from the snare of the slanderous tongue, and from the lips that forge lies, and has been mine helper against mine adversaries.
Like I said, that Esau is that deaf adder, you know. He's continuing speaking lies. All right, but the Lord, like I said, we got to help him. All right, we have someone that's gonna get us through these hard times, these bad times. You know, when they had bad times, with them evil times.
Right.
You know, so we got the helper that's gonna deliver us.
Right.
Because now you're seeing Esau's focus on the tribes.
Yes.
He is actually focused on the tribes now. And you see what he's doing. He's trying to rouse them up to cause certain chaos so he can say, I have a means to bring forth arms against them. So he's utilizing his force, but he's trying to rouse up these different nations.
Yeah.
You know, and against the nation of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they're doing. And now you see every time you go on TV, you see them raising flags, throwing bricks onto the windows.
It's BLM all over again.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's all.
And it's orchestrated. Who
Yeah.
was behind BLM?
Come on, yeah, it's
Soros, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his hands in this. This is what they do. They do this worldwide. It was found out even the Democrat Party, where a lot of the waste, a lot of the money was being sent overseas to form coups and form rebellions against certain things going on in countries, so that he can destabilize the damn country, man.
Yep.
This is what he does. He does a good job, but everybody is kind of seeing through it now. Like, all right, this is the same play.
Yeah.
This is the same shit Columbus and them did, and justified in their journals. Oh, they fought back, you know. They're savages.
Yeah.
They're savages because you know what I'm saying. Come on, man. This is what Esau has always did. He's tapping back into his scientific racism, man. Okay, and this time AI is involved, so he's getting ready to take things to another level. I'm gonna jump to verse 4, Sirach 51:4. It says, "From the choking of fire on every side, and from the midst of a fire which I kindle not." You're in the midst of a fire being blamed for, but you didn't do it.
Yeah. Nero.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he blamed, he blamed the fires on the Israelites, man.
Right, and this is Sirach. He was during the Greek Empire, so when you talk, don't trust your enemy, he was speaking of experience, knowing what his fathers had been through under the Greeks.
Yeah.
You know? And he was speaking, when you read Sirach, it's from the perspective of a Jake in captivity, man.
Yep.
And how to maneuver, but he said, never trust your enemy, man.
Yeah.
They knew they had enemies. They witnessed Hellenization, man. They witnessed the brutal way that this man will get you, and use certain leaders of your own people to work against you.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, like with this whole social media, man, they're peeping your algorithm, and they're seeing your train of thought, and the things you agree with and the things you disagree with. Because some I seen, interestingly enough, Jake always gonna show who they allegiance to. It was this video of how Jake is so comfortable of working under the so-called white man. It's literally a video of that. You know, I just feel, you know, more comfortable if I work. Hey, you gonna get your opportunity. Jake been getting a goddamn chance. 400, like Jake loves to be a goddamn slave, man.
Yeah.
Jake doesn't have a kingdom mindset.
The Democratic Party did that to Jake big too.
Yeah.
Jake's fight became a crumb.
Yeah.
Sitting next to the white man eating a waffle. Now I can live. The whole thing was about begging Esau to accept your black ass.
To sit at the table.
To sit at his table, and you never got to the table.
And that's why, you know, we like understand the situation we in. Why? Because we went off. We went against the Most High first and foremost, and abandoned His law, statutes, and commandments. But you understand 2/3 of our people when they like, nah, bro, I ain't working for no goddamn white man. I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? We get where that comes from, because they're not content, which we're not content, but we're not content in the spiritual sense. Jake is not content in the carnal sense here. You know, so we're, you know, and that does ruffle some feathers, because we understand what time it is, bro. We understand we're behind enemy lines. But a lot of these Jake, they're not going down a correct path. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're not gonna be protected.
Yeah, and we're showing you through the Spirit that, hey, bro, this is an example of the way. Like, shit, we can't save ourselves, but hey, this is a way that for some type of reprieve, some type of hope. You know, hopefully that touch your spirit to tap into. But that's the will of the Heavenly Father, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, if I
Ask
can
me
add
something else?
real quick,
Go ahead.
and Jeremiah, the Lord asked, is Jacob's servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Yep.
Because you was going into that,
Yeah.
But when you read in Ecclesiastes, what is that, 6 or 7? 10? Is it where it says the servants on the horses?
10, Ecclesiastes 10.
I'm saying
Yeah.
6. Oh, it's 10 and 6.
Yeah, I
10
can
and
get that
6,
for you.
that's right. You can get it.
Yeah, come.
We're not the servants, man. We're the princes that's walking the earth right now. The servants are these Edomites upon the horses. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know. So the Lord's like, yeah, what's up, man? What's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? The majority of our people are through, bro.
Yeah.
You know, in the wrong mentality. As a matter of fact, Jake is Hellenized right now.
Yeah.
And the majority of our people don't even realize it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you Hellenized right now,
Yeah,
bro.
Hellenized.
Yes.
And got the Greek names.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Barry and shit.
Bro, no new thing under the sun. Everything happens again and again. So, but
Yeah.
bring that out.
That's right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
Yep, folly is set in great dignity. You know, boy, this place is everything. Everywhere you look,
Yeah.
you seeing folly, madness. Like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So and it's set on high. You know, you got all on the social media,
Yeah.
all these different things that they do, challenges and different. All of it is madness.
Yeah.
Getting up on top of these crates and breaking their neck. That's madness, man. That's folly, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's set in high. You know what I'm saying? High regard here, man. Great dignity.
Jake having heavy disagreements about, hey, and that lets you know, like, of course we know what's going on, bro. We touch grass every day, as they say on the internet, or the modern sayings. We touch grass every day. Mm-hmm. You know, we outside. You know, we're people too, right? But you got Jake, debating over bullshit. You niggas up in a frenzy about the BET Awards.
Right.
I forgot that was even happening. Till I tuned in on the internet yesterday. Like, oh shit, that was the BET, okay.
Niggas are just arguing about
Any and everything. They look
You'll
at
have a woman on the internet do a video making her husband a plate. And women are just in the comment board, yeah, I bet you he cheating on you, just mad. It's just niggas are just arguing about any goddamn thing. It's like, bro, what are niggas so mad about?
You can't so-called cheat on an empty stomach.
I mean, it's just a bunch of madness. Jake is just into any and everything, man.
Yeah.
Anything Esau throws out there for them to look at,
They'll
they
fight.
run into it.
Yep.
Now you do gotta watch this, man. But Jake is entangled, and this man got their mind, and he's fattening them up to take. He getting ready to take away everything.
Yeah.
Okay, he's getting ready to take a lot of your jobs are getting ready to be taken, and who's being affected the most? The so-called black woman.
Yep.
Why do you think the Lord is doing that?
No protection.
Boy. Okay, the 2/3 of our people are getting ready to be visited, man.
Yeah.
And if you're an Israelite and you got a problem with that, you ain't of the elect.
Yeah.
It's time out for the 2/3.
Yeah.
They gotta go.
Yeah.
Like it's this is the judgment that the Lord is getting ready to bring on them. Somebody get that Wisdom of Solomon 3 in the last verse.
It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 11. It's like in verse 19. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation.
Horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. They gotta go. Now that we've learned righteousness, we should be looking at the 2/3 of our people, whether man or woman, and have a frown on our face.
Right.
We don't want that no more, man.
Yeah.
This is the final time that we got to look at our people in a jacked up state, man.
Yeah.
Noah saw it. All of the prophets had to see their people just bugged out, man. It's draining. Jake is draining. Jake makes the captivity even worse.
Yeah.
Boy.
So the Lord is getting ready to bring a brutal judgment. What was that? What's that scripture for this? Their purpose came to flood, bloodshed.
Oh, it's right for you.
Because we speak of these judgments, but the Lord is going to protect the elect through it, and some of us are going to be martyrs.
Yeah.
But that's good because the spirit world ain't such a bad deal right now.
Yeah.
Man, you go back to the spirit world. What's so bad about that? You know, oh, I had to go back to the spirit world. So you go fight to stay alive when the Lord clearly is over for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you go do? Fight to live in a world where the chip is the standard? No, just go back to the spirit world.
Yeah. Exactly.
And be raised back up when Yahweh comes, man.
That's right.
You sure ain't missing shit here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way to lose if you're the elect.
Yeah.
Because when Yahweh comes, you win.
That's right.
Where we at?
God.
Read it again?
Wisdom Solomon.
Or whatever you got.
Okay, this the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 9. It says, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked.
These things are created for the wicked. Go ahead.
And for their sakes came the flood.
Right. And for whose sake? Really, it was Cain and them, but Jake. Who was the theme of Genesis, the 6th chapter? The sons of God. How do you grieve? They grieved the Lord. Like the Lord was like, "What the fuck?
Grieve the,
That I made it." You know what I'm saying?
you grieve the creator, bro?
This ain't it. You know, and then he brought a flood.
Yeah.
So it was for their sake came the flood. These judgments that we talking about, we ain't speaking that on ourselves. These things are getting ready to, those who really believe in Esau, the niggas who bowed, took the jab, you know, gonna keep taking jabs. You know? Like, you'll take the chip like the Lord, like, oh man, you niggas are about to lose. Those scoffers, you dudes in these other camps changing the doctrine every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, this nigga popping up with a new doctrine. At the end.
At the end. At a
At
crucial
the
time.
end, at a crucial time where Jake needs to be stable in the gospel and the doctrine. Now they have to rethink this, they got to rethink that, they got to implement this, they got to stop and follow you. No. Nah, man. Yep.
This is Sirach 16 and 6. It says, in the congregation of the ungodly shall a fire be kindled, and in a rebellious nation wrath is set on fire. He was not pacified toward the old giants who fell away in the strength of their foolishness.
Right. And that's the sons of God. All right. The giants, the mighty men of the ancient world, man, of the old world. Okay, who fell from their grace, man. The Lord wasn't pacified. Eventually, he judged them. Yeah. He drowned all their asses. All right. In that year, the last of the righteous before Noah, Methuselah, died, and pretty much all of the righteous lineage were back in the spirit world, and it was just Noah and the wicked of Jake and the other nations, and the Lord just drowned their asses. Just drowned them. Just drowned everybody.
Boy, that's and then he saved Noah, his family, a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Grieve the Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, he said, repent to me that made creation. He looked down and said, these niggas tripping.
Yeah. And we got faith in that.
Yep.
Because y'all say, well, the Bible stole that from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Well, who survived the flood? If you, according to who survived and where they at?
Yeah.
What happened after they got off the boat? Then, if the Bible was stolen from the flood story of the Epic of Gilgamesh, which they're just the sons of Ham, of course they're gonna have history about the flood. Right. Ham was on the boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Ham was the first nigga to have a baby. Cain kind of like came off the boat with him.
Yeah.
You look at it.
Yeah.
That's real. Damn. Yeah.
And Cain just popped up like, where's this little nigga come from?
That's right.
So
Nasty
Ham write
ass.
this version of the flood.
Yeah.
So of course they had stories of the flood.
And hundreds of countries have the same account about the flood. That don't differ from one another. They said those stories from other countries about the flood is pretty much in the same alignment, if not synonymous. So how is it that hundreds and hundreds on hundreds of countries have the account of the flood? Because it happened.
Because it happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is Isaiah 10 and 22 in the NLT. It says, but though the people of Israel are as numerous as the sands of the seashore, Only a remnant of them will return.
There you go.
The Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai has rightly decided to destroy his people.
Damn. There you go. There's a lot of people who's going to be destroyed, man. Caught up in that judgment. You see? And Esau is going to be used to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Remember the Assyrian, get that in Isaiah 10, the Assyrian is the sword, the rod that I send against him. The Lord has historically used heathen nations to judge Israelites. So what makes Jake think that as Esau's ruling, there ain't going to be no trouble to get up out of here? This is Esau we talking about. Right. Okay? Go ahead.
Isaiah 10:5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger.
See, the Assyrian was the rod of the Lord's anger. See, because Jake kept going off, bowing to idols. So what did he do? He sent a kingdom, a nation of people against them, man. Read it again.
God, Isaiah 10:5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation.
See, the staff in their hand, the billy club, the taser, the gun. See? The spike bat. Okay? The Lord put that in their hand. And it's going to be used to wage war on 2/3 of our people, man. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Go ahead.
Verse 6 in the NLT. I am sending Assyria against a godless nation, against a people with whom I am angry. Assyria will plunder them, trampling them like dirt beneath its feet.
There you go. And this is getting ready to happen in the streets of America. These laws and the rights that they're taking away are all leading towards them justifying and stomping out the opposition. They're basically showing you this is the pattern of our new world. Okay? And these are the laws. Trump is basically, again, your presidency, all right, America itself has been sold out, has been bought out by technocrats. Okay? It's no, even if you have a voice within Esau's beast system that really wants to do things the right way, he's not going to really be heard out. Okay? Ultimately, the bidding of the elite is to crash America because it stands in the way of what they were trying to do.
Yeah. And it makes sense for those particular men, even though we understand there's higher men than your Jeff Bezos and your Elon Musk and I can't think of that is it Elamite or Ishmaelite who's the president of Google?
Oh, I forget.
Yeah, he's either or, right? But those men, represent, a level of technocracy and business. Now there are men, of course, very much above them, but they're a representative of that. Because we understand what your people like the Trilateral Commission, the true elites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like them niggas is like them niggas talking right now. Niggas, got some cognac on the rocks and they really discussing, hey, when we gonna do this.
Right, because as soon as Trump got elected, he put 3 technocrats in front of him. He put 3 guys, the transhumanists, the AI guys, and
going into space.
And what is the number one thing of some of these guys like Ellison to basically use AI to govern the world, man. Okay, surveil people for the digital ID, all right, to bring peace and safety, setting up a system where we can root out the competition using AI.
Yeah.
To AI police people, judge people, have more say in your everyday civil affairs. That's what these devils are getting ready to do. And if AI can pass laws, what if AI says everybody got to get a harabma?
They was talking about that too.
That's going to be your new scientist, that's going to be your new teacher, that's going to be your new doctor, that's going to be your new philosophers, all going to lean on AI. There's AI videos on the net right now that are really speaking shit, and it's like on point. It knows how to speak to the red pill. It's just these videos, a lot of that's AI.
Yeah.
And it knows how to speak. It's taken the talking points of Andrew Tate, Kevin Sanders, and it's amalgamated and took all of that data and made a super red pill nigga. Yeah. And they're doing videos. It's like, God damn. It's AI though.
Yeah, it had no box. Yeah. Tell you how to treat a woman.
He know how to, but it's just like the shit be true.
Yeah.
So this man, you know what I'm saying? He's setting himself up to be God, bro.
And it's really happening, bro.
Yeah, we here.
Like, yeah, it's really happening.
What more could this gotta be the end, man?
Yeah.
Where else can you go?
Yeah.
This is a lot, man.
Yeah. The Chat GPT is the new pastor and new / therapist now, bro. And possibly your lover. just real talk.
Yeah.
You get bro, anything's possible with Chat GPT.
Bro.
You doing your 9 to 5 gig and Chat GPT. That's crossing out people who are game players, over the net. People are really honed in on that, bro. People, and that's like the elders going into. That's what the elite want. That's what the left hand side wants. They don't. They despise this. This is the true building. That other shit is just making your brain in the mush, bro.
Well, that's why they gonna set up for the kids. Like the old heads, they look to get rid of you, but the kids, that's why they have molded them.
Yep.
They don't go outside anymore. They stay in here and they're, like I say, the AI and different things. That's their god.
Yeah.
They worship these different channels of these different media waves and things like that. They constantly are looking at these things. They don't look at things outside of social media. They don't look at things outside of a screen and that they watch in front of them.
Yeah.
So they can mold them however they want.
Yeah.
The ones that basically don't want to basically mold into that, they're looking to get rid of you.
Yeah. These niggas got sex dolls, bro, on the market.
Fuck sex, though.
Like on some iRobot type shit or some even movies they've made about it, right? So it's like, bro, this has to be the end, bro.
Just gotta be it.
It's gotta be it, bro.
All right. Where was we at?
That was it on that verse there. I got it.
Huh?
Did you want to continue on Revelation?
Go ahead. What was this?
God, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:10 in the NLT. I'll start at verse 9. And when you read this chapter, it's going to the man of lawlessness or the man of sin, which was already at work when the Apostle Paul wrote this, which was the Roman Empire, Esau, Edom, and he's back, through America and the EU. 2 Thessalonians.
And particularly to who? The Herodians, the Amalekites.
Yep.
Trying to put themselves in position to get the birthright back. You notice they gave Herod control over Judea. Okay, that was basically them, calling themselves the king of the Jews. They want the birthright back.
Yeah.
That's why Herod wanted to put Yahushua to death, because he knew and understood what this child represented for us.
Yeah.
All right, but the Lord worked in his favor, just like he goes work in the favor of the elect.
That's right.
So if he tried to kill Yahushua, what the hell you think he gonna try to do to the elect?
Yeah. And that's why they put them. That's why they give them special laws, because like the elder said, they're trying to get that birthright back.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, Trump can issue as many laws as they like. Nigga, you're not getting that help. I mean, Masalak, you're not getting that birthright back, bro. That was appointed to the right hand side, to the elect.
Right.
Yeah, you're not getting that beautiful birthright back.
All of the laws that are being placed are in the interest of the small hats in some shape, form, or fashion. They were even at the forefront of all of that juice jab that came out. It was everything that happened during that time that was passed as a law. It went back to a small hat.
Yeah.
They're the one ultimately that's at the forefront of all of this madness. You see, and they're gonna lose.
Yep.
All right, where we at? Read it again.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:9.
Oh, you got it.
2 Thessalonians 2:9 in the NLT says, "This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception." Right, and emphasizing that phrase, every kind. As we were speaking about, this past Thursday, every means what? Nothing is left out. So that has to involve, deep fake, AI, Vivo 3, as the elders just mentioned, these particular, interviews and, media platforms on the internet, and you may think that this is a real person with a real talking point, but the whole time it's a damn robot, man.
What that brother sent earlier today in the chat?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was, bro. Had that Edomite as if though she was a news reporter.
Oh yeah, I'm not real.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is not real. Like, bro.
It's getting stronger and stronger. The more they use it, it's gonna get better and better to the point you ain't gonna know what is real and what is,
Bro, they can take from the likes of all of these personalities, all of these ancient poets and make a super person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That shit just, it speaks to people and that shit makes so much sense, but it's not. It's artificial wisdom.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. The image of the beast is both speaking and causing as many as will not bow to it. Basically, if you don't bow to this technology, you're going to be separated from life.
Yeah.
If you don't want to come up under our digital Babel, Tower of Babel, our NWO, this digital grid, and really, most of the people, they want it off. The mass majority of the people, they plan on starving out, pretty much kicking out of the earth. The rest, which is going to be the cream of the crop of whoever, they're going to have to merge themselves. To compete in the world, they're going to have to merge themselves with machine. Because AI is going to be then took over the majority of the, so that to compete or to even have some sort of normalcy on earth, you're going to have to upgrade yourself via that charagma. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah. And
That's that 500 million that was on the Georgia Guidestones. You know, they trying to get them numbers down to a small enough number, to bring that into effect.
To bring that system, because they can't. It's really impossible with the majority of people on Earth. They have to justify waging war on them, and they do it every day by their science, right? But it's not really registering to people because they're able to. They use witchcraft, but they're using they're tapping back into that scientific racism because they're gonna use it as a means to cut off the majority of the people and justify it. And we ain't seen nothing yet. You gotta think, when you see Esau's technology, really you're seeing stuff that they were doing 60 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So imagine what he hasn't showed.
Yeah, when brothers, mothers, and grandmothers was young, they had this back then. They had this back then, bro.
Call that nigga Dexter Laboratory, nigga that working for it.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking.
It's gonna be bad. That's why it's called Michael and his angels versus the dragon. And his angels, he got literal left-handed angels. That's what this is.
Right.
You know, even a camera, a camera basically recording that you ran a red light. That's an angel on the left-hand side recording your sins.
And then people, you know, on situations that you could possibly prevent. Everybody has issue with that now because people put out a camera and record before they'll help now. Somebody watch a car get in the flames rather than try to pull you out. Because a lot of people have been making mention of that. They're like, man, people pull out a phone first. Oh, this nigga about to die. Look at him. You know, like, bro. Shit, call somebody before you record.
This nigga choking. You got a bottle of water. Recording. Nigga, go pour some of this shit down that nigga's nostril. But this is the American people that they're consumed, and he got everybody right when you want. Even we look at our phones too, guys. He has everybody looking down, all right, and distracted. Meanwhile, he's conquering everything before your ass.
But you can't, unfortunately, in this society, you can't live without it. Our bank information is tied to it. Your child's school, your email, if you work from everything, bro. Your job.
Look at a menu in certain restaurants. You have to have a phone. So he's drawn, and then when you say no, you can't function no more in his society. So there's gonna be a point where we're gonna have to totally lean on the Lord. Because he got it set up to where you're gonna have to come to him for life. He controlled the seeds, and he got control of the water. The new president of the World Economic Forum said water is not a human right. Look at somebody who thinks like that. Why wouldn't water be a human right? Water is a God-given right to humanity. Air.
Taxing that.
He wants to tax it.
He ain't right, bro.
But our bodies are made up of water, though.
He wants to trace carbon. He wants to trace your carbon footprint in the earth. Do you realize how oppressive that is?
That's great.
I mean, you don't own yourself. That's basically what he's getting down to. Like, you don't own yourself. I own you.
Yep. To save the earth, I'm gonna track. All right, because overconsumption is a problem, and it is here in America specifically. All right, but ultimately you don't teach people how to live. But ultimately he's gonna ration out food to you. He's gonna tell you how much water you can have. He's gonna tell you how far you can travel. He's getting ready to set up that system here in America. Imagine that. People are gonna lose their fucking minds. Telling them they can't come outside after 9 o'clock.
And they just did that. In 20, bro, they just did that. How soon people forget?
No test run.
Yeah.
So this man is getting ready to wage war.
That's right.
The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We got to get that. So what was we reading? Something else?
It's Thessalonians, right?
Yeah,
We finished it already?
There's a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's 2 Thessalonians 2:10 in the NLT again. It says, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction. It says, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them.
He gonna even have news stories and videos with brothers doing wickedness. Your voice, it look just like you, but it's AI.
Yeah.
And people go fall for it. When the scriptures say, if possible, can deceive the very elect. Now I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was on that Clone Tyrone movie. He was sitting there on the couch looking at himself doing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yep. Got you sitting, confessing, I love children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? It's just really, you sit in front of a therapist and they got the camera like it's a secret camera. You know what I'm saying? You gotta try to convince, that ain't me, the mole ain't on my eye, look. I got a mole, that motherfucker ain't got no mole. Your parents, everybody go see it, they go think, you know what I'm saying? This is what's coming. And we gonna have to still believe. We gonna have to not turn from the Lord.
That's why the Lord said detach and let go of your family, boy. I see, I get it every day. That's it.
Fucking head. Last week I had asked ChatGPT, you know, if you were the devil, you know, how would you use deep fake and AI? And what you just said made me think about one of the responses it gave. I'm gonna get straight to the point here. I mean, it gave a pretty good, you know, summary. But down here in section 2, it says divide and radicalize populations. It says to exploit societal fractures and create tribalism, division. You know, it says use AI bots to flood social media and polarizing posts tailored for left versus right, black versus white, rich versus poor.
It's literally, when you're looking at social media, a lot of those responses are bots. Trained to respond in a way that triggers people. Yeah. So all day, people's just being triggered, just arguing, just distracted. You respond and 80 other niggas respond. You just started a whole fucking movement by a comment.
Yeah.
But it's a bot who you responded to. It's not a real person.
Yeah.
A lot of these pages are fake people, man.
Yep.
But they're able to respond. They've learned that AI has been fed by the human race.
Yeah.
Man.
He's fed data has been. Your data has been taken, and data is the new gold. This data has been taken and sold to companies. They know how you think. They know what you want. They know how to play on your emotions. They know.
Boy, that's what the nigga do a diligent search, man.
He's a left hand. He's the man on the left hand.
Yeah.
You know.
It's got to be Daniel 12, though.
Yeah.
That time, unlike any other, since there was a nation, that had to be what he was describing.
Get that. Somebody get that.
And that Revelation 12 and 12. I'm good. You want that? Revelation?
Yeah.
Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Even the things in the sea suffer. He's destroying everything. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, including the animals, and of the sea. Everything is suffering under this man's plan to attain God head on earth.
That's right.
Everything's dying, man. And he don't plan on stopping.
No.
Okay, he wants to go to Mars and do the same thing.
Fuck up Mars.
Was it Mars?
Put a
y'all?
ghetto on Mars.
Yeah.
But it's something y'all said last week. I think Elon Musk. Y'all said they said it was too cold.
Yeah, they were interviewing him, and they asked him, "So you plan on going to Mars? Is it inhabitable?" They say it's kind of too cold for humans to live there. He said, "Well, we'll just shoot a nuke on it to warm it up." And he said it with a straight face.
Yeah.
The so-called white man is a psycho.
Yeah.
See, y'all, the 80s was the last of the cool Edomite.
Yeah.
The 90s, you know what I'm saying? But after that, now this is a creep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, MacGyver. Yeah, that was the last
You
thing.
know what I'm saying? The Highlander dude with the sword and shit.
Wonder Years. Like, that's the Edomite is not it no more.
That's right.
Eddie Panetti. What movie was that? What movie was that? Can't Bobby Love?
That shit. Yeah, I think.
Eddie Panetti.
Had the bullies. The white man was like the hunk, you know? It's over now for the white man, man. This guy is a crash out. And he's created a bunch of crash outs in the world, man. So he's getting ready to come down with great wrath because he only has a short time. Look at him. You think the Lord will keep put up with that forever, man?
Right. That's diabolical. I mean, you say if you can inhabit another planet before you put another person on there, that's him with his sword. I want to put a bomb on there first before I even put a person, a spirit on there. I want to put a bomb out there.
Bro, he's blocking the sun here on Earth. They're already those programs that were funded by the likes of Gil Bates, okay, funding these projects to dim the sun and spray different particles in the air. If you feel certain, you feel tired, you feel irritable, you see what I'm saying? You just get hot. It's just a weird, eerie. The sun looks weird.
Yeah.
He got to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you know what I'm saying? You've been taught you need all of this, and all I need is the earth to be in order. That's all you need is the earth.
Yeah. Everything will take care of itself.
Bro, if you just give Jake a backyard with water and access to food, and Jake would chill. It's the simple things in life that we don't have now. This is bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get that in Daniel, and we'll get a few more and close it out.
This is Daniel 12:1, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation."
Right, and AI got to be a part of that. Now that I'm seeing how it is,
Yeah.
because they're gonna put this stuff out and justify waging war and carting people off. Like it's gonna be fake events. Even a lot of these news clips that are being shown, a lot of the stuff is fake.
Yeah.
It's a psyop.
Yeah.
It's a psychological operation being waged on the people, but actual laws are going to be passed on the psyop.
Because a lot of people from them different states and even countries, they'll reach out and be like, man, it's not as bad as they making it, bro. Like, I live right by there.
Right,
It's not as bad.
right.
Shit just popped off for like 2 hours and that's it and that's all. Yeah.
Bro, all Esau needs is to rent it, to have control of a few blocks and just record people doing something. He's able to put that on the news and make that the end all be all of what's going on in those regions.
Yeah.
And the people watching it, and this is their perception based on what they're being shown, but they're not being really shown. This man is a witch.
Yeah.
And the Most High,
Racist,
yeah, the Most High suffers. Yeah. No, the Most High suffers not a wish to live, so that's why he's going to be destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah, they have these little animations that show that. It's like it'll show like part of the scene, you know, and that part that you see, it looks like something totally different is happening than when they show the whole, you know what I'm saying? When they show the whole deal, it's like, wow, bro, this nigga doing that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
He off the chain.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll take two events with Small Hats being assaulted, and that's the end all be all what's happening to Small Hats. Every time they walk outside, pow!
Right.
He'll loop that and keep it
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, nigga, nobody is attacking small hats like that, bro.
Those are the most left alone people walking the earth because people have that concept. Oh, these are God's chosen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jake who don't know, you know what I'm saying? And at this point, if you don't know, hey, it sucks for you.
Yep, man. So a time like none other. We was gonna get Jacob's trouble, but unless y'all want to get it, the point was made. You know what I'm
That would time in that verse is mentioned 4 times.
saying?
And you go into the word, it's gonna be like a time of an event. It'll be a major event gonna happen, man.
A major event is getting ready to happen in the planet Earth, man. The Lord is getting ready to put a very cold spirit on our enemy, and he's gonna come down with great wrath, man. But if we're covered under the blood, we good. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony.
That's right.
So with that, man, we will give all praises to the Heavenly Father.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the black Shalom.
Shalom.
Press that blue button too.
Tuesday.
Esau crazy, bro.
He's the squid villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just love those little old cartoons. He's those squid villain.
He's an Eddie Panetti.
Go around.
I forgot. I grew up on those old school movies. You said squid, but who?
It was a cartoon called